Hey everybody, Karen from Master Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing awesome today. So thank you for checking out the Spirit Circle, which is the membership for our community. And I want to take you through the website for the Spirit Circle so you can get more information for those who are deciding whether they want to participate. And it's a place for members to be able to access all of the playlists in the Spirit Circle so that it's easier than what it is on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to switch screens real quick and I'm going to take you through this website. I'd encourage you to just bookmark it and you can return to it to read through, or like I said, for members to access the playlist, and I'll show you how to do that. So here's the website. I'm going to link it below in the description for you. Okay, again, if you want to bookmark it and come back to it. So you'll be able to find everything you need to know. And then eventually I'm going to get some feedback from you to see what else we need to add. Okay. And again, this is for those who are deciding whether or not they want to be a part of the membership. This will give you all the information as well as the members. So this is your dashboard. Okay. So this header will show up on every page. And you could always click on dashboard to get back to this page. All right. But we're going to start here. I'll show you what the overall looks like. These are all the different sections of the Spirit Circle. And we're going to go ahead and how do you like our new little image for the Spirit Circle? Isn't she cute? She's kind of tea and coffee, you know. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start here. So just to give you some background, I'm going to go ahead and read the intro here. So many spiritual teachers agree that we're living through a period of accelerated change. And I know many of us in this community are feeling that as well. A time when old systems are losing power, new patterns are taking shape, and everything seems to be shifting faster than our nervous systems can keep up. Over the next several years, the world will continue reorganizing in big and small ways, and those of us who are aware to it are being asked to hold steady while it happens. I believe many of us are here to act as that bridge in this community. Staying centered while the old systems fall away and the new ones begin to form, and taking care of ourselves is a critical part of that role. The Spirit Circle exists for exactly this reason. It's time to help us stay steady as the world shifts, with a monthly rhythm designed to deepen our connection with Spirit so we can stay anchored, guided, and supported while the world reshapes around us. There are 3 ways to participate in the Spirit Circle, depending on the level of support you want each month. You can walk the path. One of the levels is called the path, with gentle weekly guidance. Go deeper with me into the practice, what we're calling a spiritual practice, with the full monthly rhythm, or join the project, which is beginning January 1st, 2025, depending on when you're watching this, which includes all of the above, plus a monthly reflection project, which is a guided creative art date where we will use simple collage, mixed media, supplies to explore the month's themes. Okay, and it's like a reflection project. No art experience required. So you can come on here and see what's included in each level. And then, so this is the path. The path is $1.99 a month. And path members will receive the messages and the reset. Okay, oops. So you can see, you can click on those links. So you can come in here, look at the map of the month to see what you'll receive, and then you can go ahead, and we're going to go through these sections anyways, but if you don't have time to listen right now, you can always come back to this and, go through each of the sections. The practice is $4.99 a month, and members will receive, it shows you the days and the days of when the recordings are and when you'll be getting that content. The practice will get the foundation, which is once a year. Actually, the foundation is a once a year thing, which is why it's not on the monthly schedule. The messages, which is once a month. The reset, which is 3 times a month. The forecast, which is once a month. The messages and the forecast take place the first week of each month. The request, which is a prompting to write letters to our spirit guides as we go through the month. There's in the journaling experience that we have set up for this, you don't have to do the journaling experience if you don't want to. But for those who want to participate in the journaling, you'll be prompted one time at the beginning of the month to write a full letter about what's coming up that month and how you need support. And then after each reset. So there'll be 4 opportunities to write a letter to your spirit guides. You don't have to do it every time, just when you're inspired to do it. The practice also includes the learning and the clearings, which I'll go over. The project, which is beginning on January 1st, 2025, again, you may be listening to this after that, so then it would already be available. The project will be $7.99 a month. And it includes everything in the practice as well as the project. Okay, and that's at the end of the month, we'll be meeting for an art date, creative date, whatever you want to call it. You do not have to be an artist to do this. We're all creative, whether you think you are or not. I'm not an artist, and I'm going to be facilitating this. I might get a little help, though. I've got some people in mind who have stepped forward and said, hey, I've got art therapy experience. I'm like, yes. Okay. So I'm probably going to tap their shoulders and see what we can do together. So if this is enough for you, I do have a join the Spirit Circle link right here. So you can just click on this and you can join from here. Okay. When you click here, you're going to see this page. And right now, as of this recording, you've got the 2 options, okay, the path and the practice. And that's where you could read here a little bit more about what you're getting, okay? And the practice, same, you just click on more perks and you'll read all the descriptions, okay? And just keep in mind that the practice does include everything in the path. So here you'd have to read the first part, weekly messages and energy clearing, monthly pendulum. I think I'm going to go in now that I'm seeing this and rewrite this a little bit. So it may look a little different, but just know you can click on each one and then you can also join on January 1st. We'll have the project up here as well. Okay. But this section is a little bit harder to read in my opinion. So coming back to the website is probably the easiest way to get information. Now, I do know that sometimes people they subscribe to the membership, but they don't go on a recurring fee, which is totally fine. If you want to try it for a month, come on in for a month. It's just, you might, if you've decided you're going to commit to it, you may want to do recurring. Otherwise, you're just going to have to figure out, like, every month it's going to stop and then start and stop and start. You're going to have to keep going in and doing that. And so it might be easier for some people if you know you're going to commit to just set it up on a regular recurring. Okay. Because we've seen where it's been, some people have a little bit of an issue because they can't get back in, that type of thing. So, and I think what happens too, not that it really matters, but some people like when they get to move along in the colors of the hearts. But I think if you restart each month, your color will always start at the purple. I know it's just a little thing, but just so you know, I think that happens. Okay, so let's go back to the website. Up here on the right side are quick links, things that our business, that we offer on our end besides the Spirit Circle. But you can click here again to get to the Spirit Circle membership sign up page. We have a newsletter. We have our mug shop. We've got journals that's separate from the journaling we are doing here in the Spirit Circle. We have a business directory where we advertise for small businesses in our community. We've got a 40% offer for you if you do like to stay in included in knowing what's going on in the news, but it's more balanced news. So we have a 40% off offer here for you for ground news, and then a list of my favorite supplies. But then you can always go here, and we're going to jump to the foundation actually, okay? But every page has this, so you can just jump to each of the areas that you want to visit. So we're going to go to the foundation. And for the members who are currently members, at the top of each of these pages is your link to access the playlist. So all you have to do is click here. As it says, click here to access the playlist, and you will bounce right in there. Now, the foundation is coming out on December 31st, 2025, and it will be for the next 12 months. So whenever you're joining, let's just say you're joining in February 2025, that would be a good time if you're in either the project or the practice. The foundation is not a part of the reset, the path, okay? So you'll want to start at the foundation for the next 12 months of your time, okay? Or you could do the foundation from February to December, because I'll probably be coming out with this every December, all right? So that would be the playlist for that one. So practice members, the foundation is where we set up the next 12 months with support from Spirit. We look at the pendulum messages from the Lead Team Collective, which is made up of all of our spirit guides. Explore the oracle messages that deepen each of the pendulum messages, and choose the intentions we want to carry through the year. This session helps you see what matters, stay steady through changing times, and move into the year or the next 12 months with a clear sense of direction and purpose. You can complete the foundation anytime. And I do have down here, that will be removed after I post it, obviously. It becomes available to all practice and practice and project members on December 31st, 2025. And every new member will be able to begin their own foundation as soon as they join. So let's go to the reset. So the reset, again, here is the playlist for the reset, and it links right there. So this is the latest reset that we did, all right? You can always sort the list by newest, oldest, most popular, however you want to do that. But you will have, members only have access to this list, okay? So if you're not a member right now and you click on here, in theory, you're not supposed to have access to that list. You might see it, but you wouldn't be able to click on because it does say members only here. All right. Okay. So the reset is and remember, this is for path, practice, and project. This will change a little bit when we get the project going, but this will be for path, practice, and project members. The reset is your weekly fresh start with Spirit, including a message on the pendulum it's an oracle message and an energy clearing. So I use the dowsing rods, and we do an energy clearing for the week. So you'll receive an oracle message and a guided clearing from the Lead Team Collective to release last week's tension, reset your energy, and step into the new week with purpose. For practice, and it will eventually say project members, the reset for practice members includes the full reset experience that the path is getting, but it adds a deeper layer of context so you can move through the week knowing what energies are rising. So you get a mini forecast, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So you get a mini astrology reading for the specific week coming up, where to stay steady, and what opportunities are opening for the week. Then we'll go to the messages. So again, playlist for members, always at the top. So again, right now we've had 1 messages with this new structure. So depending on when you join, there'll be others in there, okay? Go back to the monthly guidance. Okay, so Path, Practice, and Project members, the messages are how we will open each month with guidance from Spirit. So the first week of the month, if we were to look at the calendar here, it's the messages, the reset, the messages right here, the first week of every month. Okay. So the messages are how we will open each month with guidance from Spirit. We sit down together, look at what the Lead Team Collective is showing us, and explore the themes that will help you stay steady through the month ahead. Here's what we'll do. Review the new pendulum messages from the Lead Team Collective. Process what Spirit wants us to pay attention to in the month ahead. Pull oracle cards to look deeper into each message. Talk through what the guidance may mean for daily life. Set simple intentions to help us remember what matters. Stay steady through change and move into the month with purpose. This session helps you see the month clearly, understand what Spirit is highlighting for us, and begin the month feeling grounded and supported. Now, I did provide a 17-minute intro to the December 1st, 2025 messages. All right, so if you want to get a flavor of how this works, you can go ahead and watch that. All right, so let's move on to the forecast. The forecast again is, so the forecast is not included in the path. It is included in the practice and the project, and it's the first Wednesday of every month. All right. And the project, again, the first Wednesday of every month. And the forecast, once again, the playlist right here. The forecast is where you look at the month ahead through the lens of energy, astrology, and spirit, because we pull in the pendulum messages. So you can move through the month with steadiness instead of reaction. That's always my goal. We take the bigger forces shaping the world and your daily life, the astrology, the collective energy, and the pendulum messages from the Lead Team Collective, and bring them together into one clear, grounded picture you can use. This session helps you understand how Spirit and the sky line up, why the month feels the way it does, and how to stay centered as the energy shifts around you. Because here's the truth. We all feel these changes, but without context, they can feel overwhelming. Isn't that the truth? The forecast gives you the map. You'll get the month's major astrology in simple, plain language, how those energies may show up in real-world situations, where you may feel stretched and what that actually means, how the pendulum messages align so you can see the full story, what to focus on to stay steady and not get pulled off center. Each week, you'll also receive that short weekly forecast that we talked about earlier, a simple check-in with the week's astrology, energy trends, and Spirit's guidance so you can stay aligned as the month unfolds. If you would like to see a 4-minute clip on the forecast, that was the first one that was recorded for the membership, then you can go ahead and watch it here. So the conversation is included in both the project and the path, or the practice, and it is the second and third Wednesday of the month. And this is really, if you've ever joined me with Coffee with Karen on the public channel, which I'm not doing right now on the public channel, we're doing it here in the membership. That's basically what we're going to do. It's going to be a more casual kind of, let's chat about how the month is going with regards to the energy and the pendulum messages, the astrology, and we're going to tie in a book that we're reading. All right. So we'll have a conversation using some resource that we're using at the time. All right. And I'll show you where to find what we're currently reading and what we've already read. All right. So the practice members, practice and project, it'll say and project here in a month. The conversation takes place during the second and third weeks of each month through Coffee with Karen, a guided check-in where Karen reflects on the month's messages, the forecast, and the book we're exploring as a community. In these sessions, Karen will talk through the themes showing up in real life, explore how Spirit's guidance is unfolding day to day, highlight what is becoming clearer as the month moves forward. You'll use this space to reflect, track insights, because we're doing that for some of us who want to journal. We'll be tracking some of the insights during that time, and share our own observations in the comments so the community can learn from one another. And in fact, we're doing that all along the way. When we do the messages, we're sharing we're taking some time to see what we're each getting from our own spirit guides when we do the messages, when we absorb kind of what the pendulum messages are, and then writing those, what we're getting from our own guides in the comments so you can learn from other people. What are they getting? What kind of messages are they getting? Okay. So it's meant to be very interactive, and you can spend as little or as much time in the comments and participating in it's very, very positive. We're not talking about politics or media or news or anything like that, unless something is important in terms of how things are shifting in the world and in our own spiritual practice. Is about the only time we would probably bring something up like that. So, okay, the request is your simple weekly touch base with your spiritual team. It's where you take a moment to name what you need help with and where you want clarity or support as you move through the month. You'll write a short request after the monthly messages to open the month, and then each week after the reset as a way to stay connected and in conversation with your spirit team. This steady rhythm keeps you connected with spirit active. This steady rhythm keeps your connection with spirit active and intentional. And over time, it strengthens your intuition, which is really the ultimate goal here, right? So we're all developing our own intuition to hear our own guides, our own guidance, and follow that guidance. And then they give us support along the way as we're following the guidance they give us, right? It deepens your inner guidance and makes your partnership with your spirit team feel natural and consistent the more that you communicate with them. They want us to be communicating with them. So this is part of the regular practice. All right. Okay, so the extra things are the learning and the clearings, and those are available for practice and project members. So if we click on the learnings, you will be able to read the following books with Karen and join the community conversation anytime. Again, available for practice and project, it'll say here. This is the one at the top is the book we're currently reading, all right? You'll always be able to access the playlist from here. So you could, if you wanted to, like say you didn't really need to go back you could actually bookmark any of these once you're a member. If you want to bookmark any of these, you could bookmark them separate and be like, oh, I just want to go to the reset. I just want to go to the messages. Or you can bookmark the entire page by just going to dashboard first and then grabbing that URL. What I do to bookmark, now this is a Mac that I'm using. So if I was going to bookmark this whole page, I would come here and I would drag down into see that? And then I can always come back to it. So if you were in you might have to go to bookmarks. It just depends on what system you're using. All right. So we were at the learning. And again, How to Read the Akashic Records is the current book. You can always get the book here under each of the playlists. Then the rest of them, if the one that's on top is the current book we're always reading. All right. If you're ever wondering, oh my gosh, I missed what book we're reading, you can always come to this list and it'll be listed up at the top. All right. Then these are books that we have already gone through as a community and had conversations, which you can access at any time. Let Your Spirit Guide Speak. Amazing book and conversation we had about that. So you can click on that and you can participate. What I would do probably is do the oldest videos first, and that's where you will get chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can follow along. Okay. So just sort the playlist by oldest so that you get, the beginning of the book. And then we've got the Golden Future, same thing, playlist. You can get your book here. The Wonder of Unicorns. We did some shadow work together for 30 days. That was really helpful, I have to say. And that's all we've got at this point, but that's quite a bit. Lots of stuff to dive into. If you're, maybe not into one book, but you can dive into another. It's completely up to you. Then, last but not least, we have the clearings. I'm actually going to be going into the clearings playlist soon after I record this and clean it up a little bit. But here is your playlist. All right. So let's just read about it real quick and then I'll show you around in the playlist. So the clearings are a collection of guided energetic sessions, which you might have seen me do. I have a couple on the public channel as well. You could just type in on the public channel and the community, just type in clearings, energy clearings, and you'll see me do those. I will post one. I don't have one posted right here yet, but I will eventually do that. So the clearings are a collection of guided energetic sessions from the Lead Team Collective, our spirit teams, designed to help you release what feels heavy, dissolve old patterns, and reset your energy on every level: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Inside this playlist, you'll find clearings for things like brain fog and mental overload, overwhelm, old beliefs that create physical, emotional, or spiritual pain, fear, anxiety, anger, and low vibration states, old wounds, like releasing old wounds, both physical and energetic, blocks to motivation and forward movement, resistance to personal power, so clearing any resistance to personal power, clearing anything that's getting in the way of self-love, self-acceptance, and forgiveness, clearing karmic patterns or debts that are ready to dissolve. And that's just a short list. Okay, there's probably 30 in there. So you can, and I'll be adding them from time to time as well as we feel like we need them in the community. You can use these clearings anytime you need support, release, or a moment to come back to center. Each one is designed to help you shift out of old energy and return to steadiness with your spirit team beside you. Okay? All right. I think that should do it. Just to remember to come back to dashboard, or you can just float through the website by jumping to any section here. And please go ahead and submit any questions. You can click here and you can fill this form out and let us know if you have any questions. My sister Marsha will get back to you on email. And I did say I was going to show you the playlist for the clearings. Like I said, I am going to go in, I think. So you could, again, sort by oldest. And I haven't decided if I'm going to take off the word energy clearing. Maybe not. I don't know. It's easier just to see what exactly you're getting. So I might clean up these titles a little bit because I want you to be able to identify quickly what you're getting in that clearing. So yeah, I probably will clean that up a little bit. But right now, how many are in there? 33 clearings in there. There's 33 already. So feel free to go in and, participate. I wouldn't recommend more than one clearing a day. All right, because your body does need time to recalibrate, and it could be more destructive than you want it to be. If you do one a day, you probably won't feel anything. You might just feel calmer, more relief over something that you've been experiencing. But yeah, you could do one a day if you wanted to, or you could pick one and do that one for 30 days if it's something that's feeling quite heavy for you. All right. So that's one way to approach the energy clearings. Okay. Well, we look forward to hearing if you have any questions. You have any comments about the website, please let us know. And we'll be checking to see what we can answer for you. And I'm hoping so many people are going to join us in this spiritual practice. And I hope the different levels give you different ways to participate depending on how much time you have or what your resources are. I wanted to make sure that we had something for everybody. All right, take care, and we will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.